All right, so it's time for game six. If you've been tracking, I am in a 3-2 deficit, so I've got a back to back, and I'm disappointed because I locked in Harrison Barnes really early last week, and I probably should have waited. I probably should have thought more, especially since this whole concept of a stopwatch just doesn't seem to actually exist. So, I'm going to take my time. I think I'm really going to think this through. But you're leading us in. So all the pressure's on you at this point. You're the one that's got to close out. I'm supposed to lose, all of that good stuff.
It's all right. It's all right. You just got to pick up this game, and then it goes to a one deciding game. That's how Game Six should be approached, right? And we got some five interesting teams, including my beloved Magic and all NBA. We haven't seen that before, man. All
Hmm.
NBA. Which actually, at first thought, is probably not that easy. Like, there's obviously names that jump into mind, but all NBA. I don't know. I'll be interesting.
It's a
Like,
hard
once we
one.
start, break it down, yeah. Especially like say like a club like the Pacers. Well, you know what? I can probably think of a few names, but then again, that's going to be a high percentage. We're trying to look for that low score, right? So, all right. So what we got? We got Hawks, Nuggets, all NBA, Knicks, Magic, Pacers. Ooh, which way should I go first? I really don't want to start with 100, right? That would give you an inside edge here on this game six. Let me go. All right, you know what? I think I think I win with this pick a while ago, and I'll just go with it again, right? Why not? Remember this dude?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, let's see how it goes.
He's my go-to Denver Magic guy. So we've had Denver Magic before, so clearly I went with him last time. Let's roll with him. All right, Aaron Afalo. Let's get up 5%. I'll take it. All right, 5%. Solid
That's
start.
that's surprising. He was such a like he was one of the big names in that big trade for Andrew Bynum as well. So clearly a bit of history on him. I think Iggy was also part of that too. That's how Iggy ended up in Denver. I don't know. What a crazy trade that was. I feel like that won't happen ever and again. I'm looking at those All NBA slots. I've really got to pick those. I think there's just so many names, right? Figuratively, three different teams, three different All NBA teams. Surely there's some options here. So it's all well and good to say that out loud, but I don't actually have it right now.
You'll get some names. I'm sure one will click in your head in a moment. But here's the catch: it's like that name is
Yeah, I don't
so
want it to be high.
common, it's gonna be 40. Yeah, and you don't want a 40 score. So I don't know. You're gonna have to, you're gonna have to.
All right. I feel like because I'm on the ropes here, I've really got to think. I've really got to make sure that who I'm picking is good. I was about to go someone that I shouldn't have, so I'm glad that I didn't. Because I was thinking about it a little bit more. Geez, you know what? All NBA is actually kind of tricky, right? Because you instantly go to like All Stars because that's typically who ends up being on those teams. Um, all right, I'm just gonna go Knicks All NBA. I'm gonna hope that the All NBA was around there. Walt Frazier. We're gonna
Walt
lock in that.
Fraser. Walt Fraser.
Yeah, yeah.
Walt Fraser. Are you
Because
sure? Are you? Wow,
yeah,
that's a straight. I was you gonna say like Patrick Ewing or something. Walt Fraser.
no, because Patrick
Walt
Ewing,
Fraser
everyone's gonna pick Patrick Ewing because Walt Frazier won the NBA championship with the Knicks. Surely,
was all
surely
NBA around in 1968 to 1980.
that's
That's what you're sort of wondering, right?
well. You look at what I worry about a little bit is that 1968 or 1988 on the thing just
1968,
there.
1968 to 1980.
Did he really play 22 years in the NBA? No,
12,
12
12,
years. I'm
12
sorry.
years.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. Let's lock it in. I've got
Lock it in.
everything to lose and
Lock it
nothing to
in.
gain.
Here we go.
Yep.
8%. 8%. Take it.
Clever.
We're in
Clever.
the
That's
game.
good. That's all right. Keeps it competitive. That's
We're in
good.
the game. All right.
I feel like history, we've kind of learned this as well. As long as the player is older than 5 years old, you've already got a good chance of getting a good score. So,
All right. I'm going to go with a player here that's sort of a, I'll roll the dice here. All right. You know what? I'm not expecting a really low score here. If I'm going to guess a score now between 20 and 30, but I feel like I got that small lead here. I just got to be smart. I don't need 100 on the board right now. That'd be a huge setback again. I've done that before, right? Came back from 200s down actually and somehow won that game. So, look, clearly Vince Carter did play for the Hawks, did play for the Magic.
He did.
26, there you go. Between 20 and 30, I'll take it.
Okay.
All right, cool. It's on you now.
All
Clock
right.
ticking. You want that 2 minutes? Yeah.
Um. All right. We'll go Shaquille O'Neal for the Orlando Magic All NBA. The hard part there is that obviously it's rookie season, it's early years, so it's hard to know if he did make All NBA then. But I feel like a team that went to the finals, surely,
Well, why does that have
and
to be
I'm
his
going.
rookie year? He could have done it in any of his years at Orlando.
He was only there for what 4 years, so I'm just saying. Look, they don't. Rookies don't typically get a lot of love in All NBA, but I'm thinking out loud. Like he did get to the finals, so surely would have got a bit of love there. And what I'm banking on here is that it's clearly the Lakers image that people are going to remember of Shaq. I could be wrong, but we'll lock it in. See what happens.
49. Ow. All right, that's all
Should have
right.
went with
That's all right.
literally anyone else. I thought T Mac.
How
I
about
thought
Penny
Grant
Hardaway?
Hill.
T Mac, surely T Mac, surely T Mac, surely Penny Hardaway would
Yeah, well, I
make All
thought T
NBA
Mac would
too.
have been more
But
obvious. I thought T
um,
Mac because that was his peak, but that's okay. That's fine.
a lot of people know Shaq. Even if you don't know NBA, people would go Shaq. I know Shaq. Shaq, that guy that played
Yeah, but
basketball,
like,
right?
do people know that he played on the Magic? Like, maybe that would have been a better pick if it was like Cleveland or something. I don't know, but
I think Magic
not
and
that he made
Lakers.
All NBA with Cleveland.
It's like now you're starting to stretch your memory banks. Who else did Shaq play for? Even though he played for like 6 other teams or something, right? But
He got to Miami, then he got to Phoenix, then he got to Cleveland, then he got to Boston. So
all
I was
right,
ready for that trivia, but you were not clearly.
all right. You know what? Since you're sort of grabbing all this all NBA spot, I feel like I might as well just grab this one and then let you start to think about teams, man.
Yeah,
All
right. Yeah, that's fair.
right.
Who
So,
are you picking?
so
Because I was trying to think of someone who wasn't someone obvious. Really, I feel like there's
all
one
right.
obvious answer.
There's two names that seem jump to mind straight away, and I guess I'm gonna go something here. So I'm like I'm feel like I'm okay to give a look. Here's the catch. I was gonna say I'm okay to give away a name, but what if I pick something wrong and then now I start to give you more ideas? So maybe from a strategic point of view, I actually shouldn't try and give away my names.
Well, I mean, I
I
gave you one. I feel like there's an asterisk on your last win because of
oh, you're
that
the
issue.
you're the one that volunteered me a name, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah,
I'll take Brooke Lopez, sure. So, all right, I am. Which way do I go here? See, here's the catch. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think like early 2000s. I guess this was here, and I don't want to go like Paul George. Paul George is probably the common one, the obvious one that probably was at the Pacers that you probably go not got an All NBA nod at some point over his years there, but he's fairly recent. I'm trying to go back another step here, and I'm just trying to think which way to go. I'm just trying to think which way to. All right, see. You know what? I feel like should I just go Paul George? You had a bit of a cough up on Shaq, and I'm like, even if I get 50 on
yeah.
Paul
Why not?
George, it put
Why
us
not?
on par here. Or do
Be
I go
confident.
like somewhere like this dude here, which obviously I can't even
But
get his
did he
name
make
up
an All
because
NBA?
that's
But
the
did he
thing,
make
right?
an All NBA? The
Um,
defensive team, yes, but
because he killed
the
it. He
defensive
killed it
team,
there.
I could feel like he could. There was a couple of good guys on that team, but did they make All NBA? That
I'm
would be the
feeling.
hard part.
Well, here's the other classic name at the Pacers, clearly, Reggie Miller, right? Did Reggie Miller ever make All
That
NBA?
was my other
That's
one.
that's a big history question almost to pose there. He was
One of the
always
three teams?
I don't know. Like it feels like he was an all-star guard, but did he ever make those three teams? And I don't know. Again, maybe this would be a history here that we need that fact checker, right? But in the 90s, was there a third All NBA team, or was it only first and second team? I have a feeling maybe it was only first and second team, maybe, and then they added that third team in like
Well, I
2000
guess I
something
can
like
check if you're going to take this. If you're going to take.
that. um, all right. The other way I go about this is all right. You know what? I'm going George. I'm going Paul George. We're going safe. We're going. There's a strategy here. I'd love to know later if Ron Artest or obviously Meta World Peace, or that's not even his name right now. He's changed his name again, hasn't he? Is
Thought so.
on the board. The other name was obviously Jermaine O'Neal. Was
Yep.
Jermaine O'Neal All NBA at the Pacers? He was obviously an all-star center at the Pacers, but was he all NBA? But look, hey, fingers crossed, yeah. If I get this wrong, I've given you a whole bunch of names there. Now you got to figure out which one to pick, right? But I'm going Paul George, 29%. I'll take it. All right.
Not bad.
All right.
You're right. 1988 is when the third team was introduced. So recent, I guess, or recent-ish. Other names that I was thinking of as well, for that real niche answer, like Roy Hibbert. Did Roy Hibbert sneak into like a third team because of the center spot?
Ooh, ooh.
Because he had that stint where, it was like 10, 10, and 3 blocks and being top of the East. But
Mm, mm, mm.
ancient history now. We have to worry about the teams in front of us. So we've got Hawks and the Knicks, and I'm gonna go a recent one, but I'm hoping that it was such a fizzle out that no one cares. I'm gonna go Cam Reddish.
That's Hawks and Knicks, correct? Reddish,
Hawks and Knicks. Yeah. I'm just gonna
Cam
hope that.
Reddish, 32, 32.
All right. It's been a fun comp, and
It's all
I've
right. It's
just
not
been
over.
glad to
It's
be
not over
here.
yet. It's not over yet. 60 to 89. I've got a lead. I have to get something here. If I get something 28 or less right now, then I've won. So I guess that's some incentive for me. But it's not over. I could definitely get 100 here, stretching for a name. Yeah, only 3 boxes left, right? Pacers, Hawks, Pacers, Nuggets. Mm, Knicks and Nuggets.
Well, fortunately, you got all the time in the world, so
Well,
don't
that's how it
rush.
goes, right? That's how it goes, right? Feel free to put a two
Don't
minute
rush.
clock if you want. You know what? Put up a 2 minute
Watch
clock.
it run out.
No, no, listen up. Put up a 2 minute clock. If I run out of time, you get to go first. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
okay.
there's no point.
I still got
I'm
I still get
already.
a pick. I still get a pick here. Yeah, so you get to go first. So there's still a potential twist here. So put a clock up, man. Put a clock up, and that means you got to fill in this 2 minutes of thinking time, so I can actually think. All right. We got Nuggets and Knicks. There's obviously an obvious name there, right? I think me and you know there's an obvious name there. We did a whole bunch of recordings on him fairly recently that clearly if I pick
Well,
this name, it's going to exceed 28 and then give you one more chance. That's the catch, right? That's the catch.
I think in the interest of time, you know, it's not just about Carmelo. It's about the pieces in that trade that clearly are automatic answers. So if you feel like Raymond Felton's the best bang for buck, then lock him in and let's keep moving.
He went to Denver. Yeah, he went to Denver, right? He was at the Knicks. He went to
He should
Denver
have, yeah. I mean, he was in.
as
I feel like he was
part
in
of
that
that
trade, yeah.
trade, and I need this 28 or 29 effectively or less. 2%. 2%.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
That's good.
that's it.
That's good. That's
That's it.
good.
That's it.
That's good. Bang for buck. I
All
think
right.
in hindsight, should have thought more about all-star trades and then go for the auxiliary pieces.
Well, you know what? That was a big
So,
trade. That was a big trade. So it's probably an easier trade to sort of recall. You were talking about the Bynum trade earlier, and I honestly can't remember too many of those pieces. Vucevic was part of that trade, wasn't it? Or the pick
it
that
was,
turned into
yeah.
Vucevic,
Went
I
from
think.
Philly to Orlando. I think Afualo went from Magic to Denver.
Mm,
I think Iggy went from Philly to somewhere.
man, there were a fair few
I
pieces
don't
I think
know.
in that trade. But
There's
yeah, if you
Yeah,
ask me to
quite
pick it right
confusing.
now. So what happens now? Obviously, I'm one. Do I get this now last pick, or
No,
do
you
you
haven't
still
won. Hold on, hold on.
you still
I
play?
need to lock in.
Yeah,
I
so you
need
still
to
play,
I
right?
need to make a guess.
You can
I need to
eliminate
make a
one of these
guess.
squares. You can eliminate one of these squares for me to make it
I
harder,
can
right?
eliminate one of these squares
All
and
right,
make
let's
it
go. It's
trickier
on you.
for
It's
you.
on you.
So
It's on you.
that's the tricky part. I don't know if I can do that. I feel like
You can get 100 too. It doesn't matter. You just leave me 2 squares,
it
right?
doesn't matter. I'm actually just trying to stall you from being able to win. That's really the objective here. So it's just about running
That's
through
right.
everything.
The longer you stall, the more time I get to think about this. All right. Well, I'm not on the clock.
But
Hawks.
you don't know which one I'm picking.
That's
That's the
okay.
key. You
I
don't
think
know
about
which one I'm
both.
picking.
I think about both. They just got to play
Okay,
for
all
the
right.
paces.
That's a lot of thinking while talking. I just don't know how you do it because I
They just got.
struggle to think and talk at the same time. It's really hard. It's really hard. I wish we had a third person and I could like mute the chat and YouTube chat while I wait. Um, Gee whiz. The Hawks are deceptively harder than I would have envisioned. I'm struggling to think of some Hawks players that oh no 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 no. It's all. something. I'm gonna go Pacers and Denver. I'm gonna go Al Harrington. I feel like Al Harrington was both of those things.
Al Harrington, Denver
Al
Nuggets,
Harrington.
and Pacers.
Yep.
8%. It's not too bad. Too bad.
That's a great
Not,
guess. Great
not
guess.
good
Good
enough.
value in the eighth round or ninth round, or whatever round this is.
Get a
So how do I
solid
go for
score.
score?
All right. So you basically now to close out the championship of our first ever Immaculate Grid head-to-head
You just need to
competition.
get a
I
guess. You just
need
need to get a correct guess.
A Pacers and a Hawks player that that obviously, that like you said is correct, right? All right. And then this is the part, like you said, there's no clock. So I guess I know you can last week you bought your dinner. That probably didn't do you any favors. This is a
I
time
might
now
I
you
might
can
go heat
finish
up
your
my
meal.
dinner, to be honest.
All right, let's figure this out. Let's talk this through. Who we got? We got Pacers and Hawks. Who has gone on these two teams? I don't know. Like you said, Pacers is a bit of a small market team, isn't it? They've clearly had some players that have sort of come and gone. How much of an impact have they had? Ooh, I'm like,
I can't. I really don't want to say too much.
I'm
I
like,
don't
it's
want to
like,
say too
it's
much.
like, it's like Kyle Korver. Kyle Korver was at the Hawks. Did he go to Pacers? I'm like, I'm talking loud here. Obviously, I'm not expecting any answers. All right. We got other players Millsap. I'm thinking about that team, right? Who else was that team? Tigre. Was it Jeff T? Jeff T for that team? Maybe I need to go further back, or I need to just simplify this. Mm, mm.
Mm.
Mm, mm. This is the part where you come in with some fun facts for our listeners, all right?
Well,
About anything really.
so thinking through, obviously I look at Shaquille O'Neal's face, which is disproportionately smaller than the rest of the faces when you think about the size of him. But, I look at that and I think Grant Hill, did he play enough for the Magic to get an All NBA? That could have been a flyer. But now we kind of know that Dwight Howard
Well, this is
probably
the part
wasn't the
where
51.
this is where you open up another screen and we can confirm some of these things, right?
You're
Well,
right. You're right. I'm sorry. I fell asleep at the wheel there. Let's go.
did Grant Hill make an All NBA team? Penny Hardaway, I don't know, bring up that list. T Mac, no doubt. T Mac, 100%. It's just higher or lower
T-Mac
than
definitely would
49.
have.
Higher or lower than 49. That's your catch, right? Um,
Well, I mean, for me in this current scenario, I probably needed a guess, even like I needed to get a good guess because the Cam Reddish guess also hurt. So let's go Grant Hill in that and let's see what comes up. No good. I'm gonna go Horace Grant. He didn't play there either. And then I guess I'll go with your Penny Hardaway. No, and Faree is how they want me to spell it.
surely, surely,
24%.
surely, Penny
24%.
made All
So
NBA
that
league.
might have been the guess,
Could have been the
to
difference
be
there
honest.
within a 35-point game, give or take. I don't know. Would have been close. Would
Well,
have been
the
close.
Nixon Hawks as well. I feel like Doc Rivers was a name that I was thinking of. It was the name I should have picked. It was 10%. Oh, it's regret. This happened the other week. It's what happened. Another player in that, um, Danilo Gallinari. I reckon Danilo Gallinari was your bang for buck, and in the Knicks and Denver thing. No, he was 6%. I'm surprised that everyone remembers Raymond Felton far less than they should. All NBA for that. I mean, I'm gonna go Mario Stoudemire. I'm gonna see if Mario Stoudemire got one. He did 4%. That would have been twice as good at what I got. What are we currently dealing with? Another Paul George NBA. Let's go Meta World Peace, formerly known as Ryan Test. He was 2%. 2%. Don't know which team, don't know when, but that's a pretty good guess. And who else have we got? The
I
Vince
think
Carter one. I guess the
I think
Hawks
it
and
has to
Magic.
be there has to be an All NBA at that team. So if it was a Pacers All NBA, he got the All NBA at the Pacers. So it's not at some
Yeah, no,
point in
that's
his
that would
career.
definitely be the rule. Yeah, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. I just don't know what year that he got that because obviously he spent the year suspended
Mm.
at one point. So, it must have been pretty good for a short period of there. Hawks and Magic. Jeez, Hawks and Magic. What was that other team that Dominique Wilkins ended up on?
Mm. The Spurs.
Was it?
I think so. I don't know. Did he? I think you're thinking about Gerald Wilkins.
No, no, no. I promise you, Dominic Wilkins, like similar to like Patrick Ewing and
You think Dominic Wilkins was that Magic? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know.
I just know that he didn't spend all of his career at the Hawks. He spent most of it, but not all of it. Surprising. A brief stint at the Clippers, brief stint at Boston, San Antonio, and then Orlando. He
And
retired
Orlando.
in
And
Orlando.
Orlando. There you go.
So I'm going to chuck that in my guess.
Fun fact.
Um,
1%.
that I've I haven't had that much fun in years. 7%. So actually quite a common fact, more known than Raymond Felton, so to speak. This Hawks and Pacers thing, which have just taken you 20 minutes, and really there's a big asterisk over this whole series if you continue to take this long test.
You're just salty because you ain't the one closing out. Yeah, when you're in this last
Well, I
position,
mean,
and
you
here's
ain't
the 10
closing out either.
here's the 10-minute marker that forces me to have to give us a guess whilst I'm doing more editing, right? I was just enjoying your fun facts for the last few minutes. Okay, like give the man a break. Okay, you got to get to
Just
the last
okay,
guess
yeah,
to
no, that's
actually
fair. That's
make it
fair.
count, right? All right.
I'm just trying to think. I don't even know if I could put a name down on this list because I am struggling. That's one of those situations like, those teams that don't integrate or talk as much. I reckon this is one of those teams that you just don't get a lot of action between. But I very well could be wrong. Um,
Mm.
I did put a guess in, and I did get it correct. So that's surprising. Wow. Okay. All right. This hurts a little bit. This hurts. So some fun facts while we continue to wait for you. Um, we've got just 4 options for the Orlando Magic All NBA and just 5 for the Indiana Pacers. So that's not good. And
All NBA
I,
Orlando is pretty straightforward, right? We got Dwight,
it's,
Shaq,
yep,
Penny,
yep,
T-Mac.
yep.
That's it.
That's it.
That's
Yep.
it.
Those are the 4. As for the, okay, as for the Pacers, sorry. Obviously, you went with Paul George, very easy one. Then there's 4 more, and I've already told you that Ron Artest was one of them.
Jermaine O'Neal.
Yeah, that's another.
What I need 2 more. How about Reggie? Put Reggie.
Reggie made it 3 times. The
Oh, he
last
did.
one, I don't feel like you're going to get. Think of a flash in the pan, kind of a one season, recent-ish. Might have spent some time
I want.
on
I want.
your old squad.
I want to say Lance Armstrong, but clearly not because it's Victor Oladipo, right? So,
It is Victor Oladipo. Got it in that one season where he had that real,
before he blew his knee out 3
I'm
times in a row, I think, or something, right?
yeah, before he accepted that contract. Um, but you know what? As a fun fact, the Hawks and Knicks had 69 possible combinations, which is double, or essentially close to double, most of the other teams that we're dealing with here. So um, I would say take your time, but we will run out of recording space if you continue this. It's okay. We could
It's all
always
right.
just do another one next
I
week.
have 7 minutes. We're gonna wind this down. It's like a strategic game. You take it to the end. You force the last shot, and then if I get this wrong, then we go into overtime. You stay alive another week.
I'm looking forward to.
Your chances are there. You're like, get it wrong, dude.
So I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm going to be honest with you. This is not an easy list of names that I'm reading through here.
Well,
And funnily
nothing's.
enough,
Yeah,
Al Harrington would have qualified on that list. So I did take Al Harrington from you.
great strategy. Great
Um,
strategy.
it honestly, like I talked to some people beforehand. We really lined that one up. That was exactly what we were going for.
All
I
right.
feel like what I'm gonna do, I wanna make another coffee because I feel like we might be here for a while. So I'm gonna go turn my machine off. I got to mute. So it's just gonna be you carrying the recording
Sure.
for
Come
however
back.
long you're gonna get.
We'll just fast forward this part. Come back in 2 minutes, and I'll have something to answer with, which leaves us 4 minutes left to talk about it.
Can you hear it in the background or
No, didn't hear
you
anything
can't
except
hear it? Cool.
except
Sounds sounds like a jacket.
my brain thinking.
Oh,
Yeah,
I can't hear that.
yeah,
I'm just looking at a blank screen. Just
You're,
wondering,
you're back a
you
minute
know.
early. You're back a minute early, by the way.
Oh, my bad. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't mean to throw you off.
I don't know
I
what I
think
was actually thinking. I don't think any names actually were going in my head that were actually
clearly all the stars are
relevant.
gonna align.
Um, all right. Geez, I really don't know. Like you said, it's probably a bit of it's a challenging list, right? And I don't have even like an inkling of a name. I really do not have an inkling of a name that I even want to sort of um
No, it's not. It's not a great list. I reckon for the one person who's really been absorbed into this series, they won't hate another week of this. I don't think they'll mind.
it's
I'm sure you can close it out next week. I'm sure, you know, when I've got a bit of a break from work, I won't be, as sharp. I won't have all that fatigue from work. I'm sure that, all that loose energy won't really serve me very well. I won't be able to think. You Definitely haven't watched you milk the clock situation, so I won't feel that pressure of urgency next week when I guess. I won't want to rush next week.
all right.
Oh,
All right. I don't know
is
why
this
I'm
a
going this.
forfeit?
Did he play for the Hawks? Did he play for the Hawks? That's the question, right? Did he play for the Hawks? You got your list in front. You're like, it's on that list, or you're not on that list, right? Um, I still got 3 minutes to, talk myself out of this, and somehow another name pops my head. But like I said, it's been slim pickings the last 10 minutes or so now. There's some other names that crossed my mind, but um, man, I don't know. What do we here? It's well, now I can't see the top thing. Hawks. All right, Hawks and Pacers. Um,
I feel like if you just pick, like, I don't even care if you're right or wrong at this point. Just pick,
dude,
just lock it in.
fine. You're like goading me into just going Lance Stevenson, and you sort of know that it's either there or it's not, right? And if it's there, I'll be like, oh my God, he did play the Pacers because he bounced around a little bit here and there. But then right now, if you gave me a pop quiz for like $1,000, what were the other teams he bounced around after he's obviously probably where you remembered him at the Pacers, and then he went back there, I think, for a year even. It's like it's probably a challenging list to actually name here. So, man, I don't know. I'll just click it. Oh, it's I thought I got it wrong. I actually thought I got it wrong. Oh man. I actually thought I got it wrong. Oh man. You're like clearly was saw that name on your list in front of you the whole time. GG.
All right, just so that you're aware in terms of how, like, it's surprising that 10% of people got this because that makes me think they cheated. And the reason why I'm saying I think they cheated is because here's what happened in his career, right? So
Yeah.
he began in Indiana, and then this is how he bounced around.
Yeah.
He went to Charlotte, he went to the Clippers, he went to Memphis, he went to New Orleans, he went to Minnesota, he went back to Indiana.
Yeah.
These are all those like 10-day contract sort of stuff at that
Okay.
stage. Then he played a full season in Indiana, then ended up on the Lakers. Then he went overseas to China. Then he came back and he did a very small stint with Atlanta. He played 6 games for Atlanta. And then he went back to Indiana because for some reason Indiana kept taking him back. And that
I
was his career.
I
So
I closed out on Lance Stevenson. I was born ready. You know what? In hindsight, I should have just gone Ish Smith, right? Ish Smith.
I don't think Ish Smith was one of the answers on this one. I'm sorry.
Oh, it wasn't. There you go. All
I
right.
don't think, I think, yeah.
Good game. 4-2. You are up. I believe you are up, but gotta
Okay,
close
all
out.
right. Oh, well, people lose. People lose
End
sometimes.
recording now.
This is two guys with spare time. I'm Faz, this is Nick. You're probably a basketball fan like us, so hopefully you can throw us an assist and giving our video a like and subscribing to our channel.
And if you got thoughts, feelings, or even some suggestions, please put them down in the comment section below. And thank you for using your spare time to watch us in our spare time.